Speaking of foreign countries, what I have never been to, Martin Cuff asks, any chance you'll come to New Zealand? Well, no reason why I wouldn't come to New Zealand. I'd love to visit New Zealand. I'm hoping to go to Australia again, having had such a brilliant time out there, so no reason I wouldn't at all. Somebody else on Facebook was asking, you know, what does it take to get you out to a signing? I've got a store in San Francisco. Somebody said I've got a, you know, so yeah. I love going around. In the last year, I've been to all sorts of very interesting places, met some lovely, lovely people, and I think there is no harm in asking, either asking me directly through the website or asking me via one of my publishers, if it's a Black Library thing, for instance, asking me via the publicity department of Black Library, because quite often it might be something that could be tied into something I'm already doing. If I'm going, for instance, to the States, or as I'm going this autumn to the Canadian Black Library Expo near Calgary, if I'm going to be somewhere and we know in enough time to extend by a day in order to take in something within the you know, the boundaries of possibility, is much easier than trying to get me to fly around the world to something else. So don't ask, don't not ask. Always ask, because you never know what the answer is going to be. Tom again, have you ever had an embarrassing moment meeting one of your fans? No, it's never embarrassing. Never embarrassing moment meeting a fan. I had one who appeared unexpectedly in a Sainsbury's when I was shopping at the self-checkout, and I was putting my stuff in, and the machine said unexpected item in the bagging area, and I looked around, it was because somebody had leaned in to shake my hand, which was very nice of him. I met someone by accident in the middle of Leicester Square once, and these are people coming up to me in the street, but you know, recognising me, which I find slightly weird but very, very flattering. Somebody else in the British Museum, the curator of the British Museum, fantastic. But it was never embarrassing. I did once have an embarrassing moment where somebody I knew really, really well, I completely failed to realise who it was, but I had just been through 6 hours of games day, and faces had become a blur to me, and I'm sure Liam has forgiven me for that, I hope so. But yes, no fan has ever embarrassed themselves coming to meet me or saying hello, and I do not consider it embarrassing. If you want to come and say hello to me, please do. Do people recognise you in the street, and what's the weirdest place you will recognise? Well, I think the British Museum is pretty weird. I don't think there's anywhere weirder than that. Yes, in the bathroom. A friend of mine was once at Machu Picchu in, where is that? Peru, and saw somebody reading one of my books at the cafe before the ascent, which is kind of not meeting me, but it's like, you know, me turning up in an odd place, which is weird. Tom again, out of all your characters, who would you take to the pub and who would you invite to a dinner party? Oh goodness me. Harlem Nail, Triumph and Sinister Dexter I'd take to the pub, probably, because that would be funny. And to do a dinner party, I think Gaunt would be probably quite civilised at a dinner party. Actually, I think give him credit where credit's due. But then again, so would yes, any of the sort of slightly more cerebral soldiers. You think Baskerville or something like that, or even Rawn, if he was on his best behaviour, would probably be quite interesting. And they'd have to wear their dress uniform, obviously, to be very smart to the dinner party. And yeah, and you'd want, you know, for glamour, you'd want Patience Kiss and you know, sort of Cara, wouldn't you? And Raven, although, you know, serving him any food would be quite difficult. Somebody asked, actually, here again, it was Lang asked me, what does the inside of Ravenel's chair smell like? And we decided that it was, you know, those little cut-out pine trees that they hang in cars as air fresheners. That's what it smells like inside Ravenel's chair. And you can tell this if you go to the chair department of IKEA. Ben asks, which book, series, characters have you most enjoyed writing about? I really enjoy writing the things that I'm writing at the moment, because I get very engaged with them, and that becomes my favourite thing. So I'm really loving writing about Ultramarines at the moment because of No Fear, and Inquisitors because of Pariah. But you know, I'd be happily writing about Space Marines or Alpha Legion or Triumph or whatever it is in a second. Once you re-engage with those kind of things, I have to say I have derived enormous satisfaction from New Dead Wardians, writing that for Vertigo. I've always really enjoyed writing Sinister Dexter for 2000 AD, having written that for so long now, and I think I think when I do as it were, an originated project like Triumph or Embedded or Monster Side, the thing I'm working on now, because you have to do so much creativity within it. It's not a franchise work. It's not somebody else's IP. It really gets under your skin, and you really connect with it. So I suppose the harder question, or is it the easier question, would be what have I not enjoyed? And there's really not any of it really I've really not enjoyed at all. I mean, I love the opportunities to write things that I get to do, and either it's stuff that I've always really wanted to do, like writing Cosmic Heroes for Marvel, or it's stuff that I never expected I'd want to do, like writing I don't know, Transformers for IDW or something like that, and it just turns out to be enormously good fun. I never ever in a month of Sundays thought I'd write a zombie story for anyone ever. Not because I don't like zombies, because I just think zombies are, everywhere. And I don't say that in a paranoid sense. But then there's Dead Wardians and indeed Infestation, which had zombies in it. So it's I am at heart a gun for hire. And if somebody says, "Will you write that?" it's got to be something pretty strange before I go, "No, I don't want to." An ability to enjoy what you're doing is essential, particularly if you want to write a lot and be efficient at it, I think. Julien Haiju asks, do you and the other Horus Heresy authors always manage to see eye to eye, or are there conflicts about what direction to take? Who gets the last word then? Well, Alan Merritt gets the last word, clearly. Although I find if I bribe him with American comics, I technically get the last word. Do we see eye to eye? Yeah, we do. Although it's fair to say that, like the missing Primarchs and their legions, there originally were more people around the table at the very first Horus Heresy meeting, and the three authors just, there is a landfill in Nottingham somewhere that, Graham can get very angry. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, actually, Jim. You're watching Graham because you know he's going to go any minute, and you're just not aware of Jim till it's too late, and that's it. And then Aaron will do a little dance and just distract you. That's when that gaff goes in the knife. It's like that. They're vicious, really. I shouldn't say it, but honestly they are.